Welcome to Persephone's Pearl.
So Persephone's Pearl opened a year and a couple of months ago. Is actually the plan that I wanted to do when I retired from teaching, because I'm a New York City public school teacher. One of the reasons why I picked Peekskill is because I have some long-standing clients that used to come to the Bronx to get read from up here, and they were telling us that there really is a need for this kind of shop here in Peekskill in this area. Peekskill is a very diverse town that has, Hispanics, African American, Asian, Caucasian, just a wide multitude of different people who believe a lot of different things. And so, the goal of Persephone's Pearl was to open a space where people could come and find what they needed to be able to practice whatever spirituality they want. There are two parts to Persephone's Pearl. There is the retail side, and then there's the Center for Spiritual Development. One of the reasons this came about is because my background, before I became a teacher, I was a Seventh-day Adventist pastor. That was my original thing that I studied, is that I was a youth pastor. And so even when I worked for the Department of Education, I was really big on community, right? And so I wanted the store to also be a place where people from the community could come and find what they needed. So a lot of our activities are like our workshops and one-on-one trainings to help you figure out what is it you believe and what is it you want to do with that. If you were to sum up Persephone's Pearl in one word, it would be a resource. I've always been a person of resources. I've worked as a social worker, I've also worked as a pastor, I've worked as a teacher. And so I know the value of having resources to pull on when you're looking. So I started the Brotherhood, right? It's once a month on Mondays. Actually, it's the first Monday of every month. And the Brotherhood Circle is meant to help men, people who identify as cisgender, to find their place in many of these different traditions, because in a goddess-centered tradition, right, sometimes it could be difficult finding your way as a man and connecting to the goddess. So we try to create groups for people to come and have conversations where they can connect about their experiences. So we have the Brotherhood, we have the Sisterhood, we also have a LGBTQ group, because that's also, everything is a different experience. And so we're trying to provide for everybody a bit to help them find the connection that they're looking for. One of the things is that when people see a spiritual store or the sign says Botanica, it has a certain connotation. And so, we're trying to create an environment that moves away from that connotation. John Omilana is my spiritual name. Omilana is an African name that means the water that opens the roads. So I feel like that's kind of the movement of my life, right? Or always trying to help people open things up for themselves. And so one person that really opened things up for me was Lady Rhea Rivera from the Bronx. I spent some time with her apprenticing on making incense, mixing oils, and understanding how to mix the mundane with the magical. So I created John Omilana products. It's been a while. I mixed them in my house because even though I was a New York City public school teacher for 20 years, I was doing psychic readings in my house on the weekends. People would come, sometimes even in the week. And I always had to prescribe stuff for them to do to clean themselves, because I'm a very solution-oriented reader, right? You come out from a reading with me and there's always going to be something for you to do. So I started mixing my own oils because I didn't want them to send them to a store where they're going to have something that's made in a factory, right? I wanted something that's made with intention and that's made with authenticity. And so that is part of our business model, is to carry products that are made with intention and authenticity. John Omilana products include oils, votive candles, pillar candles, jar candles, powdered incense, and now we have soaps. So one of the things that we've been doing on our website is to create bundles, because if you want to order something, if you order just one thing, and that may not be worth it to you. So we try to put different things that go together so you can order a bundle. So if you're looking to create your first altar, you can get a bundle that has a pentagram. It could have a statue of a small, like, generic statue of the goddess. And it could have some candles and maybe an incense burner, right? We also have bundles of things that we sell in the store singularly, right? Like sage, Palo Santo, and things like that. We have lots of different types of sages. And so if you don't want to order just one piece of sage, we also have bundles that you can order. The bundles, like, usually the bundles are, like, of sage especially, is 3. Right? So just trying to make it more cost effective for the customer. There's a lot of things that if you come into our store for the first time, there's a lot of things that you can walk out with, right? You can walk out with some sage, or you can walk out with a candle. One of the things that I like it when people walk out with is with a book. We have all kinds of different how-to books, introduction books, and advanced books about different things, so that you can educate yourself. I mean, I know I said before, and I've said it 1,000 times, I'm a teacher. So I'm really big on education, people understanding what different traditions are, because if you have a clear understanding of it, then you know what you're getting into if you want to practice that tradition. So, there's a lot of things that you can walk out with, but a book, that's going to take you a long way. One thing that we do at Persephone's Pearl, that for this area is a little new, is that we do seances. We do seances based on the Allan Kardec method from the late 1700s. And, it's not the TV type, the table is trembling, spooky kind of seance. We create a safe space for good spirits to come and give us direction and give us advice on the things that we should do to make our life better. So, sometimes I say the seance is more like a group reading, but, everybody gets to talk. So, I always tell everybody when I'm preparing them, it's like, okay, the rules here are, it's like the train. If you see something, say something, right? Because you don't know if the things that have come to you to say is what's going to save somebody else's life. And so, that's one of the things that we've been doing since we started, and just getting a little more popular. And so we're thinking about maybe doing them more than once a month now. We're working on some projects at Persephone's Pearl. One of the projects is that, we have a really nice backyard space that we want to turn into a serenity garden, mostly, so that if you want to take, some time in a summer day, you just want to come and listen to some meditative music or read a book, we have a space where you can come and either sit on the grass, or there's an area where there can be tables. Just creating, and in general, this place, when I opened it, my vision was to have a safe space where you can come here and have conversations with people that you can't really have in other places. As a teacher, I've taught many students, not just in the classroom. I've taught people how to play piano. I've taught people how to read psychically. I've taught people to do many different things, and many of them have surpassed me in their abilities. And so my legacy is that I'm not one of those people that will teach you and then hold you back so that you're not better than me. I want people to come here and walk their destiny, because I'm very sure that I'm walking mine. And so the legacy is, that you can come through here, you're on the way to manifesting your best destiny.